On the news tonight, the Independent National Electoral Commission presents certificate of return to senators-elect. Fresh trouble for embattled leader of the House of Representatives Ado Doguwa as INEC voids his election. And Rivers State Labour Party crisis deepens as party leadership endorses People's Democratic Party's gubernatorial candidate. Thank you for joining us on News Now. I am Mary Kanu. 10 days after the presidential and National Assembly elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has issued certificates of return to winners of the February 25 senatorial elections in Nigeria. The chairman of INEC, Mahmood Yakubu, made a presentation at the National Coalition Center, the International Conference Center in Abuja. Yakubu had on Saturday said winners were declared for 423 legislative seats, indicating that supplementary elections will be conducted in 46 other constituencies. Adams, Oshiomole, Michael, Bamidele, Ireti, Kingibe, and the likes are to pilot the affairs of the 10th National Assembly. Granting interviews to journalists on the sidelines of the event, the lawmakers presented a united front on their expectations of the 10th Senate.
A couple of things that we need to do differently. I see long queues. Anytime I see those queues, I am troubled because I fought against these obnoxious policies when I was president of the NLC. None of those things have changed. I'm even much more convinced now that we need to take some radical decisions to ensure that the petroleum product that we consume is refined in Nigeria, together with the other byproducts arising from the process of refining. So I will go to Senate to begin to lament it. We will go to Senate to fight it, to make it a reality, and to impose sanction. We make laws that must be enforced.
System that we cannot afford to watch collapse on all of us. I believe we are going to have good governance in this country. The parliament will have a major role to play in ensuring that laws are made to ensure good governance. Our constitution is very clear that the basic purpose, the primary purpose of government is to ensure the welfare and security of the Nigerian people. And this will be an area on which I want to focus in the 10th Assembly, in ensuring that we're able to make laws that would have the welfare and security of the Nigerian people.
We will focus on dealing with insecurity. I want us to dialogue with all the agitators, whether they are from the south or east or west. We want dialogue with them. We must stop the killings. The money, huge sums of money spent yearly in buying weapons should be put to good use. So we must focus on the people. What do Nigerians need? So we must address those issues. It can't be business as usual. It shouldn't be.
A time must come in this country when your tribe does not matter. Is your character? What can you bring? Your capacity. That's what should count. And now, I have lived here from 1988 to now. I am not indigenous born, but I know this place as well as any other, and they will see a difference and know that it's not the tribe of who represents you that matters, but what the person is bringing to the table, the capacity, what the person is willing to do.
And the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has removed Al-Hassan Doguwa's name from the list of elected members of the House of Representatives for the 10th Assembly. The electoral umpire had declared Doguwa a member of the All Progressives Congress (APC) as the winner of the House of Representatives seat for Doguwa Tudun Wada Federal Constituency of Kano in the February 25 elections. Ibrahim Yakasai, the returning officer, had said Doguwa scored 39,732 votes to defeat Salisu Abdullahi, candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, who polled 34,798 votes. However, as of Tuesday morning, Doguwa's name was missing from the list of elected Houses of Representatives members released by INEC. The electoral body posted a list on their verified Twitter page, saying that the declaration made by the returning officer was done under duress. This development comes less than 24 hours after the House of Representatives Majority Leader, who was standing trial over alleged culpable homicide, was granted bail. The lawmaker was arrested by the police on suspicion of leading an attack on the INEC office in his constituency, which resulted in the death of 6 people. Well, joining me on the news to speak more on this development is political affairs analyst and legal expert Evans Ofeli. Thank you very much for joining me. Now, just after the elections, there were claims, even during the elections, there were claims from observers and citizens that that INEC lacked transparency. Now, would you say this Doguwas case is a clear sign of the many irregularities, people have been speaking about?
Well, it's a sign of irregularity, as we can see that the case is such that the election that took place in that axis had a lot of irregularities, and INEC is taking a position to that effect. But what INEC is doing appears to be overreaching, in the sense that if you are alleging irregularities, you must be able to subject that action to a court of law. And then the court of law will take its own course. So whatever INEC is doing now ought to have been what should be their contribution to litigation, because INEC is a nominal party and would have allowed the adverse party to commence its case, and then they will now come up with their own issue, the action they are taking now.
Moving on now to other stories. Ahead of the March 11 governorship and state assemblies polls, the Rivers State chapter of the Labour Party has dumped its governorship candidate, Beatrice Itubo, and endorsed Semini Layi Fubara of the People's Democratic Party. The Labour Party chairman in the state, DNA Pepple, in the company of some local government party chairmen at a meeting on Tuesday, said they are supporting a young and vibrant candidate who is from the Southeast Senatorial District, which has not produced a governor in the state. The party urged all Labour Party supporters to come out en masse to vote without fear for Fubara and vote for all other Labour Party candidates for the state assembly positions. Before Fubara's endorsement, there had been controversies in the Rivers chapter of the party. Fafa Princewell recently declared himself as the governorship candidate, despite the fact that Itubo Beatrice is recognized by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Rising from this, the national chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, has dissolved the party's State Executive Council in Rivers State for alleged anti-party activities and corruption in the management of party's funds. Abure, in a statement on Tuesday, said the dissolution is with immediate effect, adding that he has lost confidence in the ability of the compromised State Executive Council, led by Pepple, to lead the campaign for the governorship and State House of Assembly elections come March 11. He urged all obedience in the state to disregard all comments and actions by Pepple, saying Beatrice Itubo remains the Labour Party candidate for the Saturday's governorship election in the state. And the All Progressives Congress has appointed 13 senior advocates of Nigeria to defend the mandate of its presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the just concluded polls. Tinubu polled over 8 million votes in 12 of Nigeria's 36 states, almost 2 million votes more than his closest rival, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party, while the candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, finished the race. Both Atiku and Obi have rejected the outcome of the election, vowing to challenge the result in court. The ruling APC says it is willing to meet the parties in court. In a statement on Tuesday, the party's national legal advisor, Ahmed Usman El Mukzouk, released a 13-man list. The party says it is confident that the legal team possesses requisite expertise and experience to ensure a successful outcome for the APC in the presidential election petition matters. And this comes as President-elect Bola Tinubu is seeking an order from the Court of Appeal to assess sensitive materials used by the Independent National Electoral Commission for the conduct of the presidential election. At the court session on Tuesday, Tinubu, through his lawyer Akintola Makinde, said he would need to inspect, scan and make photocopies of some of the electoral materials to enable him prepare his defense against petitions that would seek to nullify his election. And Rivers State Governor Wike has asserted that he did not express opposition towards the presidential candidates of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, during the presidential campaign period. Wike, who spoke at the commissioning of Chokocho Igbodo Road in Eche local government area of Rivers State, said his stance was centered on advocating for the rotation of power from the north to the southern region of Nigeria, and he remains unapologetic about his stance.
The last election, 25th of February, I remain to be challenged. I owe nobody any apologies at all. I'm one of the apostles and one of those who stood firm that power must rotate. I said so. This is for equity, this is for fairness, and this is for justice. Whether you voted for Labour, I have no problem with you. Whether you voted for APC, I have no problem with you. That is what we have argued for. That the North has had for 8 years. Therefore, the South should have for 8 years. So nobody, I am not here to persecute anybody. As far as I'm concerned, anybody from South, that is my position. I have character. If go to anywhere, I have a character. Each time I went out for campaign, nobody has heard me criticize Obi. Have I ever done that? No. Nobody has heard me criticize Aswadi. Have I ever done that? No way. What I did, and I owe nobody any apologies. Vote for the Southern president, whoever you want to. But because PDP, you can hear me, I've said to you clearly.
Still on electoral matters, the Supreme Court has affirmed Akanimo Udofia as the authentic governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress in Akwa Ibom State as it dismissed the suit filed by Senator Ita Enang seeking to nullify the primary that produced Udofia. Delivering judgment, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun upheld the decision of the Court of Appeal, which held that the Federal High Court in Uyo acted without jurisdiction when it nullified the APC's primary. The appellate court had upheld the primary that produced Udofia as the flag bearer of the party. Enang had prayed the court to declare him as the authentic governorship candidate of the party on the basis that Udofia was not an APC member as of May 26, 2022, when the party conducted the governorship primary. The Apex Court, however, dismissed Enang's suit on grounds the trial court had no jurisdiction to question the validity of the waiver granted to Udofia to participate in the primaries, being an internal affair of the party. And Nigerians have been encouraged to go out and vote peacefully on Saturday, March the 11th, without fear inspired by threats issued. A former national deputy chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Olabode George, who gave the charge in Lagos, expressed displeasure at the audacity displayed by those behind the threat and condemned the alleged issuance of threats against innocent Nigerians. He also urged security agencies to ensure they do their duty by protecting citizens.
Anybody who wants to vote, to go peacefully, cast their vote, that's their birthright. That is the only power they have to effect a change in the future, a good future of their homes and their lives.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, U.S. Instagram influencer admits to $1 million COVID relief fraud. We'll bring you details of the story and more right after this break.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places, the Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, and use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Corruption not in my country.
Hello, Alhaji. Right now I'm in Abuja. No. Hello? Adamu. Right now I'm in Kano. Yes. When I get back, I will just call you. Look, what is wrong with you? I'm talking on the phone and you are gesticulating and doing. What's wrong with you?
Daddy, where exactly are we as we speak?
Are you alright? This is Lagos.
Well, you just lied to someone that we are in Abuja.
Keep quiet. Who told you can tell an elderly person is lying?
Daddy, you just lied. And by lying, you are raising corrupt children for the future of Nigeria. That is corruption, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories tonight. 10 days after the presidential and National Assembly elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has issued certificates of return to winners of the February 25, 2023 senatorial elections in Nigeria. The chairman of INEC, Mahmood Yakubu, made a presentation at the National Collation Center, the International Conference Center in Abuja. We also told you that the Independent National Electoral Commission has removed Al-Hassan Doguwa's name from the list of elected members of the House of Representatives for the 10th Assembly. The Electoral Umpire had declared Doguwa a member of the All Progressives Congress as the winner of the House of Representatives seat for Doguwa to Dumwada Federal Constituency of Kano in the February 25 elections. However, as of Tuesday morning, Doguwa's name was missing from the list of elected Houses of Representatives members released by INEC. The electoral body said the declaration made by the returning officer was done under duress. In case you missed any of the news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us online Maxwell TV or log into our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on all social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. And now to COVID-19 stories and updates. A social media influencer has pleaded guilty to using stolen identities to fraudulently obtain more than $1 million in small business loans related to COVID relief programs in the United States. Miller appeared by video on Monday before a federal judge in Boston to plead guilty to the wire fraud and aggravated identity theft charges. The 33-year-old agreed to forfeit $1.3 million and serve 6 years in prison, 16 months of which may overlap with a 5-year sentence she received in October for a separate Florida bank fraud case. She's set to be sentenced on June the 27th. And world number 1 Novak Djokovic will not compete at the Indian Wells tournament after failing to seal special permission to enter the United States. The Serbian, who is one of the most high-profile athletes unvaccinated against coronavirus, applied to the U.S. government last month for a waiver to play at ATP Masters events at Indian Wells and Miami. Current restrictions are due to end in April, leaving Djokovic free to play in this summer's U.S. Open, but he will not be getting getting special treatment in his bid to enter the state early. We'll take a short break and return with business updates.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. Two of us.
Thank you very much, officer. You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
Yes, oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no, you don't need to do this. We're only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey.
Okay, which came up with this one? I don't understand. You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. All forms of corruption in the force. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Folashade Ogorinde joins us now with the latest business updates. Folashade, over to you.
Well, many thanks, Mary. And in business, days after the Supreme Court nullified the Central Bank of Nigeria's Naira redesign policy, the Apex Bank has remained silent, leaving many Nigerians in a state of confusion. Speaking to TV360 Nigeria's crew, some Nigerians say they are surprised that commercial banks are loading their automated teller machines, ATM, with the old Naira notes, which they are unable to use for transactions, adding that they are worried about the silence of the federal government and CBN over the verdict of the Supreme Court.
Concerning the new Naira, the old Naira note, fine, we saw the updates about that we should be using the money. But then people are still afraid. They are still afraid because we've not heard from our superiors about this money, or probably our president, for them to address us officially that we should be using this money. Because even this old money, it has not circulated. So I don't know how they want us to cope.
Kaduna. So I heard they're already spending it there, that they should collect it, even though transport, any other market, they should collect it. But in Lagos here, they are not collecting it. Even though all these bus, filling station, with market, they are not collecting it.
We went to bank said they have not got order from their Oga, which is MFLA. And we are suffering. I have money in bank. I can't collect my money. I can't do anything. My tricycle is not that okay. I can't collect money to put it in order. I'm just managing it. So you people should tell MFLA, if he can hear this interview, that he should stop all the suffering. He should stop all the suffering. If they want to bring the old note and people should use it, they should. If it's new money they want to bring, they should bring it. People are suffering. I will not collect old money because nobody will collect it from me. But if they'll collect it, I'll collect it. For now, nobody collects it.
I'm hearing it that they say court said we should be spending the money. But what I know is that I go to bank today, they issued the old notes for us. I personally collected the old notes today. Since morning I collected the money, they refused to collect it from me. And from anywhere I spend it, maybe I want to buy something in the market, they refuse to collect it. I enter tricycle, they refuse to collect it. The tricycle take me to the filling station, they refuse to collect it from the driver. So that is what they should please say something about it, so that the society will be This is the driver that even carried me this morning that didn't collect the money from me. They should please help us speak about the old money so that the society will be spending it.
We'll take a breather now and be back with a review of the stock market. To stay with us. Tuesday's trading ended on a bearish note as all-share index closed in the reds at 1.63%, leaving market capitalization resting just above 30 trillion naira. In the aggregate, 113 listed equities participated in trading, ending with 10 gainers and 22 losers. Now, speaking of losers, MRS Oil Nigeria came out last with an end-of-day price appreciation of 10% at 31 naira 5 kobo per share, followed by NCR Nigeria. Now, on the gainers table, Keverton Offshore Support Group led the gainers with 9.62% share price appreciation, closing at 1 naira 14 kobo per share, followed by USC of Nigeria. And the end of today's trading, a market summary says 159 million volume of shares are valued at 2.4 billion naira, exchanging hands in 4,184 deals. Now, away from the NGX now, let's see how some of our global stocks fared, shall we? It's a mixed trading day for our select global stocks, FTSE, Dow Jones and Nikkei. The bearish trend in the US and UK stocks have been linked to Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's statement that interest rates in the country may rise higher than previously expected. Now, both stocks ended in the reds at 0.14% and 0.60% respectively. Well, for Nikkei, it's closing the greens at 0.25%. And that's it on Business News and Stock Market Review. Back to you, Mary, for the rest of the news.
Many thanks for the update, Folashade. Now on the global scene, a curfew has been introduced throughout the northern region of Burkina Faso and 2 other provinces to combat jihadist attacks in the Sahel region. As part of the fight against terrorism, a curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. has been introduced throughout the region from Friday, March the 3rd to Friday, March 31st. According to the Secretary General of the Governorate of the Northern Region, Kulga Zongo, the measure is aimed at facilitating the actions of the armed forces in this border region of Mali. And in sport, as the world prepares for the National Collegiate Athletic Association, 13 Nigerian athletes will be competing in the Division 1 indoor track and field of the championships this weekend. The NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championships will take place from March 10 to 11 in New Mexico. In his address ahead of the competition, the Director of Athletics, University of New Mexico, Eddie Nunez, described the championships as a unique opportunity. He added that the goal of New Mexico is to ensure all attendees have an enjoyable and memorable experience. And that's the size of our news bulletin. Thank you for watching. I am Mary Kanu.